Hi, my name's Dy. I'm a artist, and I do a lot of sketches, watercolors, travel logs, and sometimes regular old paintings. Um, and I'm a member of the SVA. I think I've been drawing since I was a little kid, and I've always been fascinated by form, um, sort of the ideal image, and I've always been trying to reproduce uh, what I've seen. So when I travel, I keep a travel log of what I've seen, what I've done, how much I pay for something. Um, and sometimes it's really great because I don't remember exactly. And sometimes you talk to people and they say, "Oh, do you remember when you went to such and such a place? What'd you do there?" And you have no idea what you did. And you look at the book from 10 years ago and say, "Oh yeah, I did this." And just the image and what you had to do physically to make that picture jogs your memory, and suddenly you remember all these things that you'd totally forgotten about. Yeah, the travelogues are a series of books, and they're on pretty heavy paper, and it's a spiral-bound book, so it's easy to fold back. And I draw on permanent marker a quick line sketch of what's going on. That'll take 10 or 15 minutes, depending how big it is. And afterwards, at the hotel room, when I have time, I'll put in all the colors. And sometimes I'll take a photo of it, or sometimes I'll get a postcard or something, because if it's complex or there's a lot of colors I'm not going to remember, it's nice to have something to refer to. Uh, but I try to get a unique image that is not something on every postcard and just reproducing the obvious iconic picture. Though sometimes it happens when I'm just out of ideas and I'm tired and it's just what I've got time for. Most of the stuff I taught myself. I did some art classes, like grade school, everybody did have some art classes. Um, but the most formal things I did was summer I took a class one time, Art Institute Chicago, and when I was in college I took a 300 level drawing course. I actually talked my way into it because I brought up a portfolio of some of my stuff and says, please let me take your 300 level class because I'm going to go crazy if I take your 100 level class and have to draw squares and fruits. And so that it worked out much better, but that was about it. And then I worked in a newspaper in college, and I was an illustrator there, and that was a lot of fun. So it didn't feel like work. It was just, we have a space, 1 column by 3 inches or 3 columns by 5 inches, whatever. We need this graph, we need this illustration, we have this idea, read this article, try to draw an exciting picture illustrating the trade imbalance between Venezuela and Canada or something like that, and then you have to make an interesting picture based on that. So that's where I learned to draw fast. This is an example of one of my pieces. This is a 2008 piece. It's unexcitingly just a picture of a horse. I just happen to love riding a whole lot. And this is acrylic, and it's done in a very straightforward, realistic manner. Um, this is more a practice study piece. When I was just learning how do I paint in acrylics, because I had left acrylics for a long time, and I had just started to get back into it, and I was trying to learn the technique better. So I had a photo to help me reference this, and I don't mind having to use references to help me sort out the details about the form, highlights, and color. And this is, we have these classes where we get together, we hire a nude model, come and we do our sketches and studies based on the model's poses. And this is a 2011 piece, and what I've just tried to do is capture the back side, which I think is an underrated side in Western art usually, because most of the great art pieces are the front of the model. But regardless, I tried to do a bit more of focusing more on the classical Renaissance ideas of form. And when I was a kid, I did a lot of studies of Michelangelo and Leonardo and the basics of the Italian Renaissance idea of sketching and drawing. And so I used a same dark brown paper bag brown, and used the Conti crayons and used white highlights and a darker crayon for the drawing itself. So